to me, when we look at this youth unemployment, and this report is very blunt in saying, look, South Africa really needs to address this development challenge because, youth joblessness is a wasted resource. And really, for South Africa to seize the demographic dividend, we need to make sure that these youth get jobs. And that's why it's quite urgent. And I think that, to really address this development challenge, because, we've seen all over the world that most of when the youth are idle, it's really a recipe for, instability and so on. That's why it's quite pertinent that the recommendations which come from this report, if policymakers can take them on board, and I think this issue of bringing all government departments together, making sure that they don't work in silos. If you look at the recommendation, they talk to, it's not really only the Department of Employment which can address this. It also talks to education. It talks to even building the capabilities of these youth. And when we talk of building capabilities, we are talking of, the life cycle development of these youth, starting from when they are born, the early childhood development, primary education, their health, water and sanitation, even the community they stay, even the issue of transport, which I've alluded to, the issue to deal with even infrastructure, public digital infrastructure and so on. So you can see that, it transcends a single ministry. And even, so that's why we need this government to work as a system. And we also need the private sector to come on board and also, working even with the education system so that they produce the skills which are needed by the economy, and even being futuristic in terms of even human resource development, so that we produce the youth who are fit for the 21st century, and everybody to equip our youth with these skills which are necessary for them to seize the 21st century. It's skills in science, mathematics, and STEM, what we term. And then we also talk, because what we've seen with COVID is that there are some industries which we used to think that they are not tradables. You can't, you don't need to invest in them. But those industries, we found that even agricultural value chains, logistics, business processing, what we call industries without smokestacks, and these rely a lot on technology. So that talks to even investment in infrastructure, public digital infrastructure, so that we nurture those industries without smokestacks. If you then, they tend to shun some jobs which don't pay them very well. But I think we need to inculcate in this youth that, you have to start from somewhere. And when you start from somewhere, it helps you to build a social network. And then that social network will help you to even get a job which will pay you over some time. So even this mindset among our youth needs also to be inculcated at the family level and even at the community level. We also know that the cost of internet is very high. We can even rejig it to have, digital vouchers, so that, we incentivize these youth to even go out there to look for jobs. But of course, also the other issue is the issue of coordination. There are a lot of youth employment initiatives going on in South Africa, but all the actors working in this space, they don't work together. How can we have a whole society, a whole government approach to address this youth unemployment? So issue of coordination, so that, actors can learn from each other what works and does not work. Is even during COVID, women suffered disproportionately from COVID, even in terms of job losses. So we need, even when we are talking of this youth unemployment, to really address even this gender divide. Then also the other policies, it's one thing I've already alluded to. One of the papers we commissioned was talking of youth employment service. And what we've seen in countries with a very robust youth employment service is that it prepares these youth for the job market. Even simple things like waking up, going to work, and also, keeping time and so on. And also youth employment service also addresses issues to deal with the youth, with social cohesion.